Well, hello there. Welcome to the Obi Thorn Alliance. I'm Jacob.
And I'm Luke.
And in today's video, we're doing our top 5 movies from the 2000. If you like the sound of that, stick around and like and subscribe.
So 2000, so I was 8 in the year 2000. How old were you?
4.
A lot of these movies we probably didn't see until we were a bit older, so watching them not as they came out, and I guessing the ones that are going to stand out are going to be probably more towards, well, for me it's going to be more like childhood memories. So, okay, so what have you got at number 5, Jacob?
My number 5, and this is very nostalgic, is The Patriot with Mel Gibson and Heath Ledger. And for me, I just recently watched this when I got back from Melbourne, and I really enjoyed having them in a movie together. It was very unfortunate that Heath Ledger passed away because he was such a great actor, and his performance in this movie was not as good as his role as the Joker, but he nailed his role in this movie. But unfortunately, the reason why it wasn't as good as the other 4 on this list is because it is a very long movie and there's a lot of political stuff involved during the movie about how the world will change if they win the war and things like that. And yeah, that got a little bit boring and it does drag on. But yeah, The Patriot at number 5.
Yeah, good choice. I've seen The Patriot maybe once or twice when I was a bit younger and probably didn't quite get it. I think now I'd need to rewatch it because it's about the American Civil War, right?
A revolution against England, becoming their own independent and now the strongest.
Well, that goes to show how much I know about it. So I need to rewatch it because I thought it was about the Civil War. So at number 5. So I've been thinking about these lists. So I know people criticise because I tend to pick a lot of comedies. I'm not saying these are the best movies of the year. These are my 5 favourite movies of the year. So at number 5, I've got scary movies. So in the 2000s and probably the next 5 years to follow, parody movies were big. Making a movie that is a collection of other movies. So Scary Movie kind of kicked this off, and it's a parody on other scary movies. Mainly Scream being the main villain. With Ghostface, as you know if you watch our channels, I love Scream. I think the Scream movies are fantastic. They're
Never watched it.
Bit of a guilty pleasure for me. So I like the Scary Movie franchise. Extremely quotable. I probably watch it once a year, and I'm probably due to watch it again. So this movie cracks me up. There's no point really talking about the premise of it because it is a parody movie on other movies, but it's kind of a mix between Scream with, they add in I Know What You Did Last Summer. So it kind of mixes those 2 films together in a parody way, and it gets to see the rise of people like Anna Faris stars in this. So she obviously was Chris Evans' wife up until a few years ago. So yeah, so she's quite famous. So kickstarted her career. What do you got at number 4?
My number 4 is the X-Men, another famous Australian actor, Hugh Jackman, playing his iconic role, the Wolverine, and getting to see Ian McKellen as his other iconic role, Magneto, and also playing the villain, unlike in The Lord of the Rings when he plays the hero. And it's a fantastic superhero movie, but it's a little bit more generic than what's at number 3. But I really enjoyed seeing the start of Hugh Jackman's career, and it does a fine job starting the X-Men movies from Fox, and now Disney have the rights back.
Don't really remember much about that movie. I would have seen it years ago, but I didn't realise Hugh Jackman had been the Wolverine for that long.
Yeah.
So I do remember liking the movie, but I can't tell you much more about it besides I remember Cyclops and his glasses and the lasers. That's about it. And was Halle Berry Storm in this film?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's about all I remember from it. So at number 4, another comedy I've got, Dude, Where's My Car? Have you seen this movie?
No.
Okay, so this movie was Ashton Kutcher and Seann William Scott, famous for being Stifler in the American Pie franchise, and Ashton Kutcher, famous from being in. I saw a movie recently with him in. I watched Valentine's Day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I really like that movie. So back to Dude, Where's My Car again. Very quotable. Hopefully Jacob will add some sound bites from that movie in there, but if you haven't seen it, you probably won't know what to look for, so I have to help you. Really funny movie. The premise is that the boys, they have a big night. They wake up and they can't find their car, so they go on this search to find their car, and they slowly discover all the weird things that happen to them. And in the end, it turns out all that to do with aliens. You know, aliens like abducted them, and that's why they don't remember what happened. But they go on this epic journey of trying to retrace their steps, and they go places and like, oh, you guys were here last night. You guys were so drunk. You did this, and they don't remember. And yet they had tattoos, and there's some funny scenes in it. So it's a good movie. So what do you got number 3?
My number 3 is the other superhero movie, Unbreakable, and this was so different for its time. It has Bruce Willis and Samuel Jackson, and seeing not when you watch it for the first time, you don't even know that's a superhero movie, but it's such a different for its genre. It's one in a kind. And then when Split comes out, Glass comes out, and then the sequel, it's a different in its genre movies to do with superhero movies, but I really enjoyed for its time because it was unique and different, and enjoyed obviously the acting of Bruce Willis and Samuel Jackson, and I definitely recommend watching it because the superhero genre is saturated now, but Unbreakable was one in a million.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I do believe it. Yeah, it's part of that Split and Glass universe by, is it M. Night Shyamalan?
Yeah.
And Bruce Willis's character survives the train crash, and he's the only one, and they work out he can't brake. And then Samuel Jackson's character is the opposite. Everything breaks him.
Yes.
Yeah. So you reckon I should watch it?
Yes.
Okay. I might give it a watch. So at number 3. I've got The Replacements. So have you seen this movie?
No.
So again, comedy sports movie. So it's a bit of a mix of my 2 favourite things. So this movie stars Keanu Reeves in it.
Actually, I think I have seen it. It's when he used to play and then they had to get replacements because their team sucked.
Yeah, so it's a pretty cool premise. For an NFL team, I think it's meant to be like the San Francisco 49ers by a different name. Their players go on a pay dispute. They go, we want to get paid more money even though they're already millionaires. So the owner goes, well, screw you guys. I'm just going to get a team of nobody. So they get a collection of people from different sports or ex-players, and so Keanu Reeves, an star player at college level, never cracked it in the NFL. Then they bring him in, and it's a really, really fun movie. They have this iconic scene where they're dancing in the jail cell and singing I Will Survive by Gloria Gaynor. It's just a good sports movie, lots of quotable things in it, and it's a mix of this kind of Moneyball idea. If you get the right mix of people and you can create a team. Sometimes sports stars are overprivileged, and there's a list of people that would kill to have what they have. The fans resonate with that we'd rather have guys that want to play for us than just greedy and want money. So yeah, it's a really, really good film. So I enjoy watching that, rewatching it time and time again.
Yes. My number 2 is Remember the Titans and Denzel Washington. Now this performance about this gridiron team going against. They didn't succeed that well, but Denzel Washington was such an amazing coach and role model that the sporting team, just an amazing sporting movie.
At number 2, I've got Meet the Parents. So this starts the whole Meet the Parent franchise. For me, it was my first taste of Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller had obviously been in a few things beforehand, but I think this kind of made him massive. We also get Owen Wilson in this film. Extremely funny. Oh, and Robert De Niro, of course, is in it, who was obviously very, very famous before these started. It's a great franchise. It's something that resonates for me from the early 2000s, the 3 movies they brought out. And I don't know if it's worth bringing this franchise back, but if they can find a way of writing another sequel, that'd be great. But Meet the Parents, extremely funny movie. So what's your number 1?
My number 1 is Gator with another Australian, Russell Crowe, and watching this for the first time, it was such an amazing movie about love, rise, power, and betrayal, and seeing how he was potentially going to maybe be in the throne of the Roman Empire, and then eventually dropping down, and then it's such a great movie, and they're actually making a sequel. It's finally coming, and looking forward to how that's going to come, but this is definitely the best movie from this year, and definitely looking forward to the sequel.
Yeah, it might be a good time to rewatch this, a sequel coming out. I remember liking it, but I was probably a bit too young to fully grasp it, and now it's a bit old. Like, I haven't watched it since then where I'd understand it. I remember it being a really long movie for its time, so which by today's standards probably short. Everything seems to be 3.5 hours long now. So, what do you think? I got it number one.
The Adam Sandler movie.
No, for once I didn't put an Adam Sandler film in, so I've gone with Remember the Titans, which you had at number 2. I think Remember the Titans is one of the best movies of all time. Sports, epic, true story, tackles racism. So much to like about this film. An all-time epic, and it's the start of Ryan Gosling, really. A lot of people don't remember that Ryan Gosling was in this film, but he was great in it. And obviously he was a Mickey Mouse Clubhouse kid before then. But yeah, this is kind of the start of Ryan Gosling for me. So it's an awesome movie. Anything that just missed the list for you, or notable mentions?
It was definitely challenging, but it made me realise that I need to watch American Psycho and Memento.
I haven't seen either of those, so I don't know about. I don't think I want to see Memento, but I'd like to see American Psycho. Things
with
that missed
Christian Bale.
Yeah, things that missed the list for me. Billy Elliot. So that was close to making it for me. That movie, I remember watching a lot with my grandmother. She really liked that movie, and it kind of resonates with me. A boy growing up in the UK, his dad wanting to be a boxer. He wanted to be a ballerina, get into ballet. I don't know what you call a male ballerina. And The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio, kind of...
Haven't seen it.
Again, it's a movie that's... it's a bit slow, but it's kind of like an epic journey. It's like something that everyone should probably watch once. I just think it's a cool concept that sticks with me. Miss Congeniality. Another comedy that just... This my introduction to Sandra Bullock. This idea of cops going undercover. That's kind of like a common thread with films. So it was, but it's one of the ones that stand out for me. Me, Myself, and Irene. Jim Carrey film. Nurse Betty as well. I think that had Jim Carrey in it too. And
The Grinch.
The Grinch, that was another movie that came out that year with Jim Carrey, so a big year. And then Little Nicky was the one that you were referring to by Adam Sandler, which I like, but it's an Adam Sandler film that has a lot of hate, and people think it's horrible, but I really, really like it. So the thought was we'll go through and we'll list the 5 most highly rated films on IMDb, so you can compare it to what we had. So we haven't done this before. So what do we got on IMDb? So at IMDb, they've got number 1, they've got Gladiator, which Jacob also had. That was also, I believe, the highest grossing film at the box office worldwide that year. Obviously well deserved. They've got Requiem for a Dream, which I've seen once.
I haven't seen it.
A film about drugs and addiction, so it's quite a good film. It's one of those ones that kind of, you look up list of must-see films in your life. There's a lot of, or like films that make you feel emotions. It's usually on that list to watch. American Psycho.
Number 3.
I've seen lots of memes and cuts from this film, but I've never actually seen it in total, so I should probably watch it. Memento. A man with short-term memory loss attempts to track down his wife's murderer. No, never heard of it before today. And Sexy Beast. A brutal gangster Don Logan recruits retired safecracker gal for one last job, but it goes badly for both of them. Absolutely never heard of it. Starring Ray Wilstone, Ben Kingsley, I recognise him from something, Ian McShane, and Amanda Redman. No clue. So that was number 5 according to rankings on IMDb. So we're going to do one of these again soon?
Yes, look forward to doing that. As always, you're awesome and keep being awesome. Like and subscribe, and see you then. Bye-bye.